if he comes on, or when he comes on, he's bound to get a goal.
Yeah, he's going to get starts, isn't he? The whole team is going to be utilised. The whole squad needs to be. Like I said earlier, it's a really busy schedule right now.
And he didn't have a pre-season, so it would make no sense for him to be starting these games because he's not physically ready. We can hear what the manager has to say about everything happening today. Here's David De Gea. Here's Erik ten Hag talking to Liam Bradford.
Eric, you've brought Antony in for his debut. What made you come to that conclusion?
He can be a really threat over that right wing with his speed, without ball, with movement, also with his dribbles, and he's also very good in pressing, and I think that is what we need against Arsenal. It's a good playing football team. If you let them play, you have a problem, so we need to really be good in the pressing, and especially the pressing, so the back line of Arsenal.
3 consecutive wins for you, 5 consecutive wins for them. Is this your biggest test so far?
But that's clear. And now is another test, but different styles, and you have to be good there. And what I said, the pressing has to be really good. Will you have a chance to win this game?
You have the ability to make an impact from the bench. You showed that against Leicester when you managed to bring Casemiro on. Similar role for him today?
Yes, I would say yes, but of course he is a start 11 player, like also we have more. We have more than 11 start 11 players. We have a good bench and they can have an impact, and they should have that impact because if you want to win something, and winning is something in the end, it's about trophies, then you need a good squad.
Alexander Zinchenko comes back in for them at left back. We know that he takes up quite central areas from left back. How do you plan on combating what he can bring to that Arsenal side?
Yeah, we have a plan for that, and we have to neutralize that, clear. And what I said about good pressing, getting good positions, anticipating, and cooperation especially.
Eric.
Yeah, the manager relishing this challenge, as he does every challenge that the Premier League offers, and that is a tough thing to take, isn't it? You know, you're the Man United manager, you know that every game in this division is so tough. You're probably in the Premier League, but this, of course, today isn't a minnow, it's Arsenal.
Yeah, you know, the Premier League is the best best league in the world, and no game is easy, no matter who the opposition is. And as you say, in Eredivisie, it could have a bit easier games, fly through things with Ajax, but to come to the Premier League, but come to Manchester United, where, you know, history, success after success, and trying to bring that them days back here, it's going to be tough, but hopefully this is the man to do it.
Yeah, I don't think there's not an easy way to bring this place or take this place back to where we want it to be. There's lots of components. It's not just on the pitch. I think the fans have got to be right, the coaches have got to be right, everything's got to be right to make Man United what we want it to be. 3 wins is a good start to getting it back where it needs to be, and to start other football clubs and other players going, oh, Man United are doing well, oh, Man United are on the way back. That's when they start to feel us again.
Sam, if you didn't have Antony on the back of your shirt, you might have been tempted to get Martinez, right?
I mean, the way he's played, absolutely.
Oh, Dublin, of course, yeah. But Martinez has been quality, and he's the player of the month because of his brilliant performances in the heart of our defence.
I think from a United perspective, the joy of him playing so well and being player of the month is not just an excellent footballer doing excellent things. It's that from the outside of Manchester, so much has been made about his size, and it makes it so much more fun when that proves to be nonsense.
Yeah, and you played at centre forward and centre back, Dion, so you know that position. For you, how good is Martinez, and what qualities does he offer?
I think he enjoys defending, which is, you know, if you enjoy getting stuck in, he doesn't mind going to ground when he needs to go to ground. His choice of pass is good. Very rarely panics, even though he's one-on-one as well. So decision making's good. What he does, you might see this, even though he's small. You'll notice this, Paul, that when the keeper goes up to catch, he's always trying to give the keeper space so nobody can challenge the keeper. I've seen that a couple of times, which is a natural thing to do as a centre-half. So, yeah, and you'll know that as well as a keeper.
Oh, it makes your life so much easier when he's got that protection and also knowledge of where to be and how can I help. Yeah, people are saying that's his size, but that hasn't affected the way he's been playing. He's been outstanding. It's like kind of thrives going, oh, you can say what you want, but watch is on the pitch. Don't mind what you say, because I've been playing really well. And
his heart is as big as anyone's. He is an absolute lion back there, and we love the way he has been conducting that defence. And like we said earlier, the fist bumps, the high fives, superb to watch. Now, at the other end of the pitch, Jadon Sancho has been awarded the goal of the month for August. And he scored twice now at the start of the season, Theon. 2 really, really good goals. But the goal of the month, the composure shown in that box was unbelievable. And in such a big game to do that, that shows what talent he's got.
Yeah, and it shows that, you know, him and Marcus, that they are goal scorers. Just give them as many opportunities as possible to do what he does there, to sit his player down. He's got his back to goal, there, sit down and find the gap. The composure is, when he's sat the defender down, what do I do? There you go, sit down, right, stop, think, goal. That's all it is, ice cold. You have to slow yourself down, and he does it brilliantly. We're just starting to see how good he can be. I still think there's loads more to come from him. I really do, loads more.
Yeah, great feet. His feet in the box there, so good.
Very good. He's a player playing with so much confidence now as well. He's kind of adapted to the Premier League. It took him a while last year, but this is the Jadon Sancho the world knows. And doing stuff like that, it's composure, he's touching another goal. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another one today. And he's bringing a lot of, pressure off him now. He's getting goals, he's doing what he was bought for, a lot of money, and he's throwing it on the pitch.
Yeah, there's going to be more pressure on his spot as well now as the competition for places heats up. And that's what we want. We want these players to be looking over their shoulders because there's a quality player desperate for your starting place. OK, let's turn our focus back to Arsenal a little. In his pre-match press conference, Mikel Arteta was asked about this special rivalry.
When I was younger, watching it on TV and watching that rivalry and those special games between the two teams, obviously playing feeling, and yeah, a magnificent stadium to go there and be us again as a team.
Do you think we've seen these fixtures have everything over the years? Do you think it still has the same edge?
I don't know. I think was talking about a special rivalry between certain players built certain momentum into this, but I think in England it doesn't get much better than that.
Obviously it's a different situation because Ten Hag has only just come in and have had those first 2 defeats, but you've had those 3 defeats last season. But how important is it not to panic when you get bad results and everyone's screaming crisis?
Especially in this league, it's so competitive. The games are won by very small margins, and those periods are going to happen, and you have to be ready for that and understand what kind of reaction you need and fix them as quick as possible.
Big sides, they go and win at Old Trafford, though, don't they? So what would it mean to do that for you and this team? What would it do for the morale of the team if you can win there?
That's not something new. We've done it. We have to do it. We have to believe from today, from yesterday, straight after the game, that we are capable of going there.
When you were a player here at Arsenal, the team never won a Premier League game at Old Trafford, and we used to talk to Arsenal a lot about a kind of psychological issue through that as a club.
I don't think so, obviously. We have gone through that. We didn't win Stamford Bridge. To believe that you go there and you play the way you want to play and you can win the football match. We've done it, and that's the belief that we have.
You sort of talk about this sort of mental thing there. Do you think in the past maybe Arsenal did have a bit of an inferiority complex going to Old Trafford or Anfield or Stamford Bridge?
I don't know, but I wouldn't like any of our players feeling that way because they are good enough to go there and win the match, and I think we have the belief that that can happen. If not, it's better to stay at home.
When you sign players like Jesus and Zinchenko, obviously used to winning these sort of games, obviously that must help with the mentality in the squad as well.
Of course, yeah, because that brings belief, and people who have experiences, positive experiences in those matches, I think is very good because it's very contagious to the group.
About this Arsenal side, and we've talked a little bit about how Mikel Arteta has built this young, impressive Arsenal side. But it's not just the players they've signed from City. There's quality throughout this team, isn't there, Dion?
Listen, slow and steady, I think, for Arteta. He's starting to play the Arsenal brand of football, which is out from the back, play through the thirds. He's getting the personnel in the positions that he wants them as well. That's why they are where they are. They've been the best side this season so far, very consistent. They are now ticking a lot of boxes. They're being hard to beat. They play some really good football. There's some flair, great passes, some great defending. All departments at the moment are strong.
But it's a team that throughout the 90s, early 2000s, I used to hate Arsenal because they were so good.
Yeah.
But I loved the games between us and the Gunners. They were the ones I would, probably alongside Liverpool because of that historical rivalry, but the Arsenal game, that rivalry has dissipated. Start to be looking at those top couple of spots rather than fighting for 4th, 5th, 6th. That rivalry.
Time to build a project, which is quite rare in football.
Yeah.
And you can see the things slowly gelling together. Like with ourselves as well, there's starting to gel. There's players that have come in and fit into this mould and doing really well. So this rivalry, it will get back to the days that we knew, and Arsenal are getting back to the team that I knew growing up, the way they play, and it's attractive football.
Yeah, there's normally a lot of things to admire about Arsenal and the way they play, to be fair. And it's a very different start to the season than last term when they lost at Brentford, didn't they? Lost early on to Chelsea and to City, which are by no mean small feats. But, you know, they're good teams, of course, but they still had a terrible start.